Well, good morning. Yes, it's me, Kenny Polcari, your host of the party. And today's Wednesday, August 28, 2024, kind of the day that we've been waiting for in terms of earnings reports at the end of the summer. But really, we're not going to see much action until after the bell tonight and then into tomorrow. But here are the things that you need to know to get your day started. Well, yesterday stocks didn't do much of anything, and I don't expect they're going to do much today either. Bonds, they also did nothing as we wait. Oil fell by 2%. It's down another 1% today. Gold is holding steady in the mid-century mark. And who's coming out after the bell today? Well, Nvidia for sure, but we're also going to hear from Crowdstrike, Salesforce, and HP. But you wouldn't know it if you just listened to the news. And what do we have for dinner? We're going to have the stuffed chicken cutlets. Delicious. Okay, who remembers Carly Simon, 1971? Anticipation is making me wait, and wait is what we're going to have to do. And that possible 10% move up or down in Nvidia that the options market is pricing in implies a $316 billion change in market cap. Think about that just for 1 minute. $316 billion change in the market cap. Now, 95% of listed companies in the S&P don't even have a market cap of $316 billion. Marinate on that for just a minute. Now, all this is stocks hovered near the highs, just waiting for the news that's due out today at really just about 12 hours away. The Dow ended the day up 10 points. The S&P was up 9. The NASDAQ was up 30. The Russell lost 15. The transports gave up 85, while the equal-weighted S&P added just 1 point. It was a quiet day. Right? We are in the final week of summer. We discussed this. Volumes are low and moves tend to be exaggerated. And they will be even more exaggerated tomorrow. Why? Because the earnings are not due out until after the close of trading today. So we are going to get a reaction in the post-market trading at 4:15, 4:11, 4:10, 4:15, somewhere in there, which is going to guide the action for the broader market tomorrow, not today. So again, we wait. What I think is a bit ridiculous about all this is that some people are wondering if the AI euphoria still has room to run. Are you kidding? Is someone really asking that question? Look, listen to me. We're still very much in the infancy stages of where we are going in terms of AI. No one really knows yet where the road is going to take us. They just know that we're on it, and it's very tough to get off. In fact, we can't get off of it now. The other question is, can Nvidia actually at least match Wall Street's lofty estimates? To which I'd say, first of all, Wall Street's estimates are not companies' estimates, right? Second, Jensen Huang, right, JH, he knows what those estimates are. He's not a dummy. If he thinks that those estimates are way off base, then the street analysts have completely screwed it up. Then he's going to have told someone by now, because that is part of the process. Understand how this analyst estimate whole thing works. You see, analysts, they have relationships with the company, right, at the C-suite level. They talk to them, right, because they're supposed to. They gather information. They use channel checks. They compare what other companies are saying about AI and how they are powering it and who they're using and where they're spending their money, all to support their efforts, right? And then they come up with a number. Okay, great. Companies that think that the number, that these estimates might be too lofty, will send a message via those same channels. And then we'll see the analysts adjust their numbers, right? They might take them up, they might take them down, right? They always do. In fact, we're starting to see third quarter earnings estimates do what? They're getting adjusted. I'd say slashed, but that implies something negative, and I don't want to go there, right? And so I'm willing to bet that not only is JH going to meet the estimates, that he's going to beat them, and he's going to offer robust guidance going forward as well, which does not mean that the investors and traders and algos won't hit the sell button. I certainly expect there are going to be many who do, right? Just to lock in some of those profits, right? They have to, right? They've made these big bets, and today, after the bell, is payday, right? And again, unless the thesis changes, unless he says something that is completely negative or not expected, which is not happening, I am not wavering. Now, at some point, Nvidia is not going to grow at the rate it's growing. I'm just saying that point is not now, right? Look, the top three holders of Nvidia, Vanguard owns 2.1 billion shares, BlackRock owns 1.9 billion shares. Fidelity owns 1 billion shares, right? The stock is up 187% this year alone. It's up 795% just in 2 years, right? It would make sense that some of these three top holders, never mind all the others, might just trade around the core position, right? Not sell it, but they're going to peel some off and trade around it to raise some quick cash to redeploy somewhere else, or just hold cash to take advantage when other chips may fall. And then you have all those algo traders that have absolutely no loyalty to the name in the long run, but they love to trade it in the short term. And what I'm saying is, unless the long-term thesis changes, as a long-term investors, do not overreact to this report at all. Trust me, the end is not near. And think about this. Crowdstrike, Salesforce, and HP, they're all reporting today after the bell, but you wouldn't know it because Nvidia is sucking all the air out of the room. Now, Crowdstrike's going to be interesting, as they're still reeling from that failure last month, right? That stock has lost 35% of its value. Actually, it lost more. It's rallied back a little bit. But they can't say anything that's going to help them at the moment, I don't think, right? Not much in my opinion anyway, but we're going to see. Bonds yesterday did nothing really. The 2-year still yielding 3.86%, the 10 years yielding 3.81%, right? No real movement. Oil did, though, fall by 2.2% to end the day at 75.76, and this morning it's down another 1 full percent as the whipsawing continues, right? Yesterday we learned that the Houthis hit a Greek tanker in the Red Sea, causing it to burn and leak oil into the sea. Russian production has rebounded to their highest level in nearly 2 months, and the API reported that U.S. crude inventories fell by 3.4 million barrels last week. Okay, all that's kind of a mixed bag, right? Some of it is bullish, some of it is bearish. And with the geopolitical situation being what it is, oil remains volatile. Once again, we have broken the long-term trend line at 75.87, leaving now 72 once again in the bullseye as a level of support. Gold remains in the mid-century, trading at 25.55. This morning, gold is down $9 at 25.45. It remains in that 25.75 tight trading range on hopes that we're going to get this 25 basis point cut in September. And if we do, I would not be surprised if we saw the gold traders once again take some profits in that after its recent move to new highs, right? It still remains, though, in the broader 2,500, 2,600 trading range. Eco data today includes nothing but mortgage apps. Remember, last week they were down a full 10%. So we'll see what they are this week. U.S. futures this morning are up. They're up small, though. They're really flat, essentially. Dow futures up 20, S&P's up 4, the Nasdaq's up 11, and the Russell's up 2, right? All as we await for this Nvidia earnings after the bell, and then more inflation data at the end of the week. Remember, we're getting the PCE, which is the Fed's favorite inflation gauge. Now, don't forget, even if the numbers blow the roof off, it's going to be the guidance that everyone is going to focus on, right? And for some reason, if for some reason the guidance isn't what the algos expect, then watch as the algos go into meltdown mode. Again, any disappointment will create large waves of selling that's going to reverberate potentially across the whole tech space, right? And maybe even across the whole broader market. While any perception that Huang is just killing it is going to send the algos into a buying frenzy. European markets this morning are all higher by about 0.5%. They're also focused on what's happening geopolitically, what's happening in their countries, as well as certainly Nvidia earnings today. The S&P closed at 56.25. That was up 9 points. I don't expect it's going to do much today as we wait, but watch what happens at 4:10 p.m. Eastern time. In the end, it's always important, remember, to take a balanced approach to long-term investing. Try not to make emotional or rash decisions. Don't get overweight. Yet don't become so complacent that you lose sight of really what's going on all around you, because that is part of the process. Make sure you understand. Make sure you understand how that impacts your portfolio. Okay, so we have a dinner time. We're having the stuffed chicken cutlets, and you can do a lot with chicken cutlets, but today, let me tell you what we're going to have. For this, you're going to need 8 thin sliced chicken cutlets, 2 cups of sautéed spinach, grated pecorino romano cheese. You can use Parmesan if you want to. You can even mix it. You need thinly sliced pancetta. You need salt and pepper, olive oil, garlic. You want it chopped, peeled, and sliced. You want chicken broth. You want dry white wine like a Pinot Grigio Santa Margherita. You want butter, and you want flour. You want to saute the spinach in a bit of garlic and olive oil, season it lightly with salt and pepper, set it aside. Lay the cutlets out flat on wax paper. Lightly season them with salt and pepper. Next, divide up the spinach amongst the 8 cutlets, and then be careful not to overstuff them, right? Put the spinach on the cutlet, just leaving a little space along the sides. Now sprinkle in the tablespoon of the cheese you're going to use on top of the spinach, and then you're going to start at the end of the spinach, and you're going to try to roll it, not super tight because you'll squeeze everything out, but just roll it, and then wrap it in the pancetta around the chicken. Wrap the pancetta slices around the chicken and pinch it closed with a toothpick. right? If it's a big chunky piece of cutlet, you might need 2 pieces of pancetta, and you might need 2 toothpicks. But anyway, you know what I'm saying, right? You can also use twine if you want to tie it, but that's more work. Now, in a large heavy bottom skillet, you're going to add some olive oil over medium-high heat and add the sliced garlic. Saute it for about 3 minutes or so. Now you're going to add the chicken that you rolled and pinned, and you're going to brown it on all sides, maybe 5 to 8 minutes, right? Next, you're going to add equal parts of the chicken broth and the white wine and bring it to a boil. Usually a cup of each should be fine for about 8 cutlets. You're going to reduce the heat to simmer. You're going to partly cover the skillet. You're going to let it cook for 15 minutes, leaving the chicken there in the sauce. Now, you're going to go back, you're going to take the chicken out of the pan, just put it aside for a minute. You're going to bring the remaining wine mixture to a boil. Season that with salt and pepper. Now you're going to add a dollop of butter and maybe a tablespoon of flour, maybe a little bit less, right? And allow it to thicken just a bit. If it's thickening too much, you can always add a little bit more of the chicken broth to thin it out. When it's the right consistency, you're going to put the chicken back in the sauce. You're going to coat it with the sauce. You're going to just cover it for a minute, let it blend. You're going to serve the chicken on a platter. You're going to pour the sauce over the top, making sure to have a mixed green salad to accompany it. You don't really need another vegetable because the vegetable is already inside the chicken, right? The spinach is your vegetable. It's already inside the chicken, so no need to have anything else. You could have that and a big salad and a glass of wine, and you're good to go. In any event, it is a beautiful day down here in South Florida. A little bit cloudy up there, but the sun is out. The sky is blue over here. I'm not sure that there's rain in the forecast today, but there is rain in the forecast tomorrow, which is kind of interesting if you think about it. In any event, until then, take good care.